I never thought my life would collapse in one night. I always believed my family was solid, built on trust. But then, one secret came out, and it tore us apart. It was a quiet Sunday evening. My wife, Linda, was cooking dinner, and I was setting the table. Our 19-year-old daughter, Claire, sat across from us, fidgeting with her phone. I noticed her hands shaking. Something was off. Finally, she put the phone down and whispered, "Dad, I'm pregnant." The room froze. The sound of sizzling in the kitchen felt like thunder. My heart stopped. But what hit me harder wasn't the pregnancy itself. It was what she said next. "The father is Uncle David." I swear the air left my lungs. My own brother. My younger brother, David. The man I had trusted with everything. The uncle who babysat Claire, who came over for every holiday, who swore he loved this family as much as I did. Linda dropped the pan. "What?" she screamed. Claire broke down crying, saying she didn't know how to tell us, that she was scared, that David told her to keep it secret. I wanted to explode. I wanted to drive to David's house and tear the walls down. But I didn't, because at that moment, rage wasn't enough. I needed to think. I needed to make sure justice was served. That night, I tucked Claire into bed. She sobbed herself to sleep, and I sat awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. My brother betrayed me in the worst possible way. But if I wanted to protect my daughter, I couldn't just lash out. I had to be smarter. The next morning, I drove Claire to a counselor. I wanted her safe, supported, and out of David's reach. She confessed everything. The messages, the late-night visits, the pressure he put on her. Every word was a dagger in my chest, but it gave me what I needed, proof. Quietly, I started gathering everything. Screenshots of his texts, bank statements showing he had been secretly sending her money, even neighbors who had seen him sneaking around our house when I was away. Piece by piece, I built a case. Then came Thanksgiving dinner. David walked in like nothing was wrong, smiling, hugging everyone, sitting at the table as if he still belonged. My parents, my relatives, they were all there. And that's when I stood up, clinked my glass, and said, "I have something to show you all." I turned on the projector. The screen lit up with David's messages to Claire. The ones where he told her to lie. The ones where he promised her gifts if she stayed quiet. Gasps filled the room. My mother covered her mouth. My father slammed his fist on the table. David's face went pale. "This is fake!" he shouted, but no one believed him. Not after the evidence kept rolling in. I stood tall. "You didn't just betray me. You destroyed this family. You crossed a line that can never be forgiven." Within days, restraining orders were filed. The police opened an investigation. David lost his job, his home, his reputation. Every door closed on him, and me. I focused on Claire. I got her the medical care she needed. I made sure she knew she wasn't alone. She wasn't guilty. She was manipulated by a man who should have protected her. It wasn't easy. Our family was shattered. Some relatives tried to defend David at first, but once the truth spread, they turned their backs on him too. Claire slowly began to heal, and so did I. Months later, she gave birth to a baby girl. Holding that baby in my arms, I realized something. Out of betrayal, out of pain, a new life came. Innocent, pure, undeserving of the sins that created her. So I made a vow. That child would never know the darkness of her beginnings. She would grow up knowing love, safety, and strength. Because sometimes, the only way to heal is to build something stronger from the ashes. I cut David out of my life completely. To me, he's already dead. But Claire and her baby, they're my future. My reason to keep going. Here's what I've learned. Betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from blood. And when it does, it's the hardest wound to heal. But no matter how deep the cut, I will never stop protecting what's mine. If my story moved you, don't just watch. Subscribe for more real stories of family, betrayal, and strength. Because trust me, what comes next will shock you even more. Stay strong, stay legendary,